I would like to hit 400,000 next year. I think it's attainable with the knowledge that I have. I just need really good execution.
I know how you feel. You probably got a couple team members on your team. You're trying to keep them busy through the winter because you care about them. However, the data is showing you that the demand and that stuff's not there. I have tried in my market to market in the fall. It takes 4 times the amount of effort and work and door hangers to get the same result than it does in the spring rush. All right, so how can I help?
I don't know, man. I feel like this is a mindset one for me. I feel, and Jack knows how I feel too, so I feel comfortable saying all this. I feel very vulnerable right now because I'm just like doing a lot of things at once. And I have no idea if it's going to work out or not. You don't know what I'm doing unless Sam has told you anything. I'm trying to go aggressive with winter services, and I'm doing a door hanger campaign. And today was our first day where we were going out and doing it together. I had done that with maybe 100 door hangers before. That's my first time. And I have 4 other guys hired who are doing it at the same time as well, just doing a lot at once. And then I got engaged to my girlfriend on Halloween.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so you got 4 guys or 6 guys doing door hangers.
So it's like Jack and I are part-time doing it, and so that's 1 person. I have 3 other people hired, so that's 4 total, and I have another couple that wants to do it on the weekend, but I think I'm probably just gonna go through more Indeed applications and get someone who can do it full-time. I don't know, when 2 people do it at the same time, it's less efficient. So but I'm not trying to be too picky. One question that was on my mind for sure is, what would you say is a good sample size for door hangers? Because the first day we put any out was yesterday, and I think about 500 got put out, and I didn't get a single lead. And I think all in all, we've probably put out 500 yesterday, and then we did 1,500 today. And I know we just put them out, but I haven't got a lead yet. So it makes me a little bit nervous. I'm hoping that the offer isn't terribly wrong or something.
What market are you in? Where do you live?
Knoxville, Tennessee.
So you're probably similar to my weather-ish. All right, so typically I'd say at a bare minimum, probably 3,000 is a test batch. Ideally, you want to try to get closer to 5,000. The fact that you've put out 2,000 door hangers, I mean, give it a couple of days. Sometimes people don't look at them immediately right away. Dude, I will tell you personally, and I know you've probably talked to Sam with the coaching and stuff. Dude, I have tried in my market to market in the fall. It takes 4 times the amount of effort and work and door hangers to get the same result than it does in the spring rush. So for example, if you put out 1,000 door hangers in the spring, you might get, I don't know, 3 to 5 calls, right? So to get 3 to 5 calls in the fall, you're going to need to put out 4,000 to 5,000 door hangers.
Okay. I hope that's not the case, because that ruins a lot of my math on how I was going to stack cash for the spring. We do have a buttload of leaves here in my market, so fall cleanups are a big deal. I don't know what that's like for you in Texas. I assume it's not. I've seen some of your videos. I'm sure it's not the same.
It's pretty similar for fall cleanups and leaves. It's pretty similar.
Okay.
Yeah, just being honest. If that's to be true, which again, get the data first, and it sounds like you are doing the data, so you've got a team of people putting out door hangers. I mean, dude, I'd say if you don't get a single call when you get to 3,000 or 4,000 door hangers, and you know for sure all your people are putting them out on doors, dude, I would nix that as quick as you can. Otherwise, you're just burning money.
Okay, yeah.
Save those door hangers. Ideally, I mean, I'm sure if they all say fall cleanup on them, then you really can't save them. But take the labor force and the marketing material and the door hangers and do that same thing in the spring, and you'll get so much better return.
Okay. I know that's true for sure, but because I was going off a bunch of assumptions, hoping that this was going to work, and I just need to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah. And dude, today's Wednesday. I mean, do what you're doing for this entire week. And I mean, unless the timing is way off, where it's the leaves are just starting to fall, so the demand's not that high yet. That could be it too. Maybe you just got the timing off. But I know how you feel. You probably got a couple team members on your team. You're trying to keep them busy through the winter because you care about them. That's what you're, as a good steward and a good business owner, that's what you're doing. However, from the pure business standpoint, if you're doing those door hangers and you're starting to see the data, you just put out 1,500 or 2,000?
2,000 over 2 days. Yeah.
And you haven't got a single call?
Yeah. No.
So the data is showing you that the demand and that stuff's not there, right? Like we think it's there because we see leaves on the ground, but like the people don't want it that bad. Otherwise they would be calling you and saying, at least get it. Like, what's the price? Like, what's a quote? Again, I mean, at a minimum of 3,000. So go put out another 1,000. If you still don't get a call, dude, I wouldn't keep doing that next week on Monday.
Okay. Unfortunately, I bought a bunch more door hangers. So, but if I have to just cut my losses, the labor is the really expensive part. So it would be okay.
Yeah, and that's the right mindset, because again, you did probably buy thousands and thousands of door hangers because you wanted to ramp it up in the fall and hit the ground running and do all this stuff.
Yeah.
But the numbers, the data doesn't lie. And so what the data is showing you is that the demand really isn't there. We think it's there, and it is there, but the customers don't really want it that bad. So it's like, you could tweak I don't even think really even tweaking the offers is going to get even the phone ringing. I mean, the fact that you put out almost 2,000 of them. Now, again, most people are at work though today. So like give it 24 to 48 hours.
Mm-hmm.
See if you get any calls. I mean, and that's fine. Like, do what you're doing for maybe all the way till Friday, and then give it the weekend and assess. But like, dude, if you put out 5,000 door hangers this week and you don't get at least 5 calls, dude, I would be, because out of those 5 calls, they're not all going to book. So you might only book 1 or 2 jobs. But
that's literally like a cost per lead of many hundreds of dollars.
Yeah. And you're going to spend thousands of dollars in labor to try and book 10 or 15 jobs. It mathematically doesn't work. Now is the time that you would want to nurture any leads in your database with upsells. So before, I always tell my people that I'm coaching and stuff, like, before spending $1 on marketing or spending any money in labor to go put door hangers out, have you been doing? Are you on Copilot?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you doing personal property upsells on every single visit, or are your crews doing that?
No, neither.
Okay. I would start there. If you don't have the upsells built in the system yet, do it. And then what you would want to do is, again, you're going to send them one text. Hey, it's Ryder. I was there for your lawn service today. I noticed your bushes need to be trimmed.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like a free quote? On every single property, you should be able to look at the bushes, the weeds, the mulch, if it needs flowers, something, insect control, weed control. Build those upsells out so that way you can click the briefcase and in 2 clicks send them a personalized text saying, hey, it's Ryder. I was there for your lawn service today. I noticed you need weed control. I noticed you need mulch. Do that. Have your crews do that. That's where I would start first before spending $1 on marketing, because that's a more effective way. You're literally telling the customer that it is a need. You need your bushes trimmed. The second thing, are you doing monthly mass upsells?
Yeah, as of the last month, but I wasn't doing that before. I'm not sure what I would sell. In November, it would be leaves. It'd be like one-time leaf cleanups, I guess.
What about dude, I see a lot of people get off of the bush and bed service train too early. I don't know about you. If you're in a market like mine, dude, the bushes still need to be trimmed down here. They're still kind of growing.
Yeah, they are here too. I guess for a lot of my existing customers, I didn't want to dip into what I felt like was going to be winter services revenue too soon, but I may be overthinking that.
Yeah, I think you're overthinking that, because the winter service approach is like a package deal. So think of it like a package, right? Like, we're going to start with a monthly mow, then we're going to go to your bushes. If they don't need it, then we're going to go to pulling weeds. If that doesn't need it, then we're going to pick up the leaves on the property. And it's like a checklist. It should be a checklist of like 5 to 7 things on every visit. You're going to start at the top and do it for 30 to 40 minutes, however time that you have, and before moving to the next one. I wouldn't overthink it too much, but dude, every month upsell at least one. And so like you said, in November, it might be leaf cleanups. So, but even before going out and putting mass amount of door hangers out, you could test it with a mass email or a text and just say, hey, we're now offering leaf cleanups. Who would like a quote? And again, if you have 1,000 people in your database and you blast that text or email out and you only get 5 people that ask for a quote, that's a good indicator right there that, hey, I probably shouldn't have a whole team of 4 people going out doing door hangers because of that return. Most of the time in our database, we have about 3,500 customers that have like at some point asked us for a quote.
Mm-hmm.
So when we send out an upsell that hits like really good, dude, there's like 80, sometimes like 100 estimates on the schedule that hit really good. And the ones that don't really hit good, like maybe like 25, like that's more on the low end. So
Yeah.
out of 1,000, you should get at least 10 people asking for a quote. If not, then either the timing's off, the demand of the service is off.
Okay.
So I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but
No, it's okay. I need to pivot to whatever reality is as quickly as possible. I
yeah,
think Sam was helping me like do all this, but I think that he maybe gave me too much credit than I deserve for thinking of what was attainable or not. Because I've been doing like weekly calls with him and paying extra for that to try to help me like figure out this whole thing.
yeah, and like Sam's in your corner, and what he's giving you is probably good sound of advice. But at the end of the day,
The market's what matters.
you have to look at the data driven decisions. I talk to too many business owners that come to me and they're like, hey man, what should I do? Should I market here? Should I market there? And it's like, dude, you're in your own market, you're in your own elements, you're in your own season where you're at, and you got to figure out the data for your business, right? So like that's what you're doing. You're gathering the data. And if the data isn't lining up properly, then I mean, yeah, pivoting is the right move. And now I'm not saying to not, continue to market or maybe change the offer up or maybe the approach, but like at the end of the day, again, what I have found, I've tested it multiple times, multiple different seasons, multiple timings. Anytime that I market in the fall or the winter on stuff like that, I'm spending 4 times the amount of money in product and wages to get one result that I would in the spring. So logically thinking, why not build the staffing properly to 4x in the spring and just pump everything out in the gold rush when the prime opportunity makes or breaks it? Like, but that's just my mindset, and that's just what has worked well for us. Like, I know, like, and it's also seasonality. I know people like market like Christmas lights, like that is a fall service that you do have to market. But a lot of the services that we do is just mowing, bush and bed, weed control, leaf cleanups. But again, we don't pay for leaf cleanup marketing. We used to. I mean, I'd probably dabble in some Facebook ads, maybe like 10 bucks a day, 20 bucks a day to see if anybody bites. But yeah, to go out and do door hangers doesn't really work in our market in the fall. And I think you're kind of running in that same issue.
Interesting. Okay. The other thing that's been happening to me,
What's up?
my truck has gotten towed 3 times in the past 4 days.
Oh, wow.
And it is my only truck. I only have me and one guy with me. That's the size that I'm at. And the first time the starter went out, the second time they put the starter in improperly, and now the third time there's a different issue that I'm waiting to hear back on, and it's related to something electrical, and it's causing the transmission to shift into random gears when I'm driving. So
What year is it?
it's a 2015 F-150 with 104,000 miles on it.
Okay. Yeah. Man, I'm sorry to hear that. That's rough.
I know, and unfortunately, that's like a small percentage of the truck issues I've had all year long. But that's a story for a different time. It's a little bit hard to stay positive though when that is happening to me, because there's not really anything I could have done, I don't think.
Yeah, that's tough, dude. Do you have enough like funds to like potentially like that? Probably doesn't make sense to keep that truck for next season, right? Like you probably don't want to keep that truck throughout the busy season next spring with all the issues that you've been having already with it, right? It's just going to continue to compound.
I hope so. I hope I can. I hope this is just a fluke. But the earlier truck issues I was talking about was with a different vehicle. I've already swapped vehicles once this year.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
hopefully it'll be
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say if all of those issues were occurring, anytime that we have a truck that's constantly over and over and over again, like 800 here, 1,500 here, 2,000 here, it's like there just comes a point where it's like, man, maybe we should just sell the thing and get a better one, But if you had already done that, yeah, hopefully this is just kind of like a fluke, and what? Yeah, I think that would be good. Another suggestion, Ryder, that I would do like once you get through this off season is like right before spring rush when you start getting busy again. What I like to do is bring the truck and be proactive. Bring it to the mechanic and I tell them, I say, I want you to shake this thing down. I need this thing running for the next 6 months. I don't want to see you for 6 months. So if there's a belt that's worn down, so I always like to bring it to the mechanic like right before the spring rush and have them shake it down. Just check the hoses, like do preventive maintenance. Like if there's something that you think, and I talk to them too, and that's why it's so important to find a good mechanic because they're gonna. Yeah, this is broken, this is broken, this is broken. And then I'd say, look, like what's the priorities to make sure that this thing's good for the next 6 months? And normally they'll be like, hey, you got to do 1 and 3. You can probably wait on 2. And then I'm like, cool, let's do 1 and 3. I'll pay the $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, whatever it is. That way I don't have to hopefully worry about it all through the spring and I can make money. 5 years ago, I was out in the field every single day, knocking on doors, pushing mowers, and bootstrapping my business from the ground up. Today, I am not in the field and rarely ever in the office. I work on the business and not in it. And that didn't happen by luck. We put the systems in place and now we're handing them over to you. Inside our school community, you will gain access to all of the systems that we've used to allow this to happen. Click the link in the description below.
Blitz is not working like I wanted it to. And that really, my whole goal with that was to finish the winter with a certain amount of cash and so that I could use that for the spring. But given my circumstance, I'll try to give you the best. I'll try to relay my information, like my circumstances, the best I can to you and see what you would say for me next year. I've been on lawn care web design since September. So the SEO should be starting to get better by the spring. I did a bunch of Google review crunching. I asked all my friends and family. I have over 100 now. That's like the online presence in SEO. But I don't have that much cash. Like I would say that I think I have like $15,000 in cash right now. And obviously I need to use some of that to make it through the winter.
So the goal is to get as much money as you can to use in the spring rush, right? Is that how I'm hearing it?
Yeah, because I'd like to grow as much as I can. I feel like I didn't really get involved in these coaching groups until a few months ago. And I was trying to do it basically all on my own, me and YouTube for the first year I was doing this. So I feel like there's a lot of ground to make up.
So have you done the 50 free business listings websites and posted your company on there?
I have not.
So that would be your homework in the next 7 days.
Okay.
Go to ChatGPT, ask it for top 50 free business listing websites. Make sure your business is on every single one of them. Make sure the name, address, and phone number is completely the same as it is, like identical. Do not have it different. Don't put like the phone number. It all needs to be exactly the same as it is on your Google My Business. Just
Okay.
make sure it lines up exactly identical.
Is that for SEO?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so do that. That'll definitely help. Now, as far as the cash crunch goes, have you thought about doing prepays for the year to pull cash up front?
I have thought about that. The only hesitation for me is like managing it well. That's not really the only downside, right?
Well, what services do you offer? Like what would you offer for a prepay?
I don't have any type of full maintenance package. The only service that I could prepay would be mowing based on the average amount of visits. And if there was a drought and they had to skip visits, like it would be credited on their account. Bush trimming and mulch is really a la carte in my market. I'm not sure if that exactly answers the question.
Okay, so what's your average lawn cut price?
$60.
And do you offer biweekly all year, or is it weekly and biweekly?
Weekly, April through June, and then weekly and biweekly throughout the rest of the year.
Okay. Do you know how many visits in a year one customer will get on average?
33 or 34.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's good. So that's 2,040. That's $60 a cut times 34 visits. You could offer a 10% discount, which would get them basically 3.5 free cuts. So the way that you would pitch that is before maybe the end of the year, or at least maybe before whatever the mowing season starts next year, because you need the cash up front. It's very, very important. You could send out a mass text and email, preferably text, because that has a higher deliverability rate and you're on Copilot, and just say, hey, we are now taking prepay. You get you could say 3 or 4 free mows when you prepay with us and secure your spot for the 2026 season. You get 10% off all of your mowing, which would get you basically 4 free cuts or close to it. And then what you would do on that is just kind of, once somebody's like, hey, yeah, what's the cost of that? Then you send them an estimate. And then in the disclaimer portion, you just put, hey, if we need to skip for a drought, or if there's too much rain one week, like that stuff's really not refundable to save you the headache of the admin time. Just know when you prepay, we're going to be there all year. We're going to make sure your lawn looks good. There might be a week we skip here and there. For the most part, if it's a drought or it's too rainy for us to come out, obviously we're not going to we don't want to damage the lawn. Just put that disclaimer in there. That way it saves you if anybody gives you kickback. And then, yeah, dude, if you get, how many mowing customers do you have?
I have about 40 recurring mowing customers, and my revenue has been a 50-50 split between recurring and one time this year.
Okay. So even if you get 5 customers, dude, just 5 of them to prepay for the year.
$10,000, right?
Yeah. Dude, that's 10 grand. Now you can take that money and pump it out into marketing in early February, March, and you should offer that not just to your 40 mowing customers, but also the other, hopefully leads that you have in the database. Offer that to all of them. Hey, we're doing a prepaid discount, secure your spot for the 2026 season and get four free cuts. And then that would pull a lot of your cash forward. So that way you would have the money to again, here's where most people get hung up on. They take that $10,000 and they go buy a truck. Not good. Or they go buy a mower, or they go buy equipment. That money needs to go to get more customers.
Mm-hmm.
That money needs to go into Facebook ads. It needs to go into door hangers. It needs to go into marketing to get more customers. And that way you can multiply that 10 times over and get hopefully, 50 extra customers. If you $10,000, dude, you should be easily able to get another 50 customers with that.
Okay.
And I mean, at 20-40 a pop. So you take that 10,000 and you turn it into 102,000.
Yeah.
50 times 20-40.
So if I wanted to get an additional 300,000, try to get 15 people to prepay and put all that towards marketing.
You mean
because I would like to hit 400,000 next year. I think it's attainable with the knowledge that I have. I just need really good execution and good timing for things. And I've talked with Sam about that too. So as long as you're telling me where there's a will, there's a way, I can jive with that.
Yeah, dude, honestly, it's the biggest untapped resource that most people don't tap into. And what's funny is I tapped into this in my first 2 or 3 years in business, and then we got away from it because as we grew, it became kind of an admin nightmare of managing the prepays. Because when they cancel mid-season, it's kind of a problem. Or if they turn out to be a pain in the butt customer, it's dude, here's your money back. I don't even want you, in a nice way. We're just not a good fit for you. You go your way, here's your money back. It's cool. We actually are going back to prepays this next year because we want to do massive growth. And what you're doing is you're pulling a lot of that money up front. And that way you can, deploy it in the right way. And so you're going to do what, 100,000 this year. So you're saying you want to get to 300,000,
400 next year.
Okay. So you want to basically 4X the business.
Yes.
It's a good goal. It's doable. Yeah, you're going to need a lot more than just 5 prepays. So I would even look at maybe packaging some kind of bush and bed service together. Are you doing mainly HOA residents?
Yeah, but that's almost inconsequential. People don't really get hit with fines here. The HOAs are more just community for the neighborhoods that we have here. Yeah.
Do you have any bush and bed recurring services? A monthly bush trimming customer?
I had 4 of them because I didn't really try to sell it that much, and it's that's one of the hardest things that I've been trying to figure out how I could even estimate, because it varies so much from property to property, but I'm sure it could be done.
So here's what I would recommend, Ryder, is when you go out and do the initial estimate, somebody calls you and says, hey, I need my bushes trimmed. Cool. You go out, you trim it, or you quote it for a one-time currently, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Add another additional line item on the quote for recurring monthly bush trimming. So on the initial cleanup, it'll be $300, right? To get all of it cleaned up because it's all overgrown right now. But once it gets under control, the recurring cleanup might be only $98 a month, to where like we just come out once a month, we trim the bushes, and you're only trimming a few inches anyway because not much is growing.
Mm-hmm.
And after 4 weeks, now we do a 6-week visit. We say every month and a half, because that's just the sweet spot that we have found. After about a month and a half, they need to be trimmed again. But I would add that to your initial estimates, so that way you can start to book more of those recurring jobs. And or if you are doing the jobs and you complete them, ring the doorbell, do the walk. When you do the walkthrough with the customer to get approval, that's when you upsell them and say, hey, now that this is cleaned up, you just spent $350 today. I can get you on a monthly package. It's $97 a month, $98 a month, whatever you want to call it. It's normally like a third of the price of the initial cleanup because it's way less work. Come out every 4 to 6 weeks, and then you don't ever have to worry about your bushes getting long because we'll be here to clean it up for you.
Does that actually reduce their spending over time? Because I struggle like trying to conceptualize that, because sometimes it seems like it's a premium service because we're coming more often, and other times it seems like it's saving them money because it doesn't turn into a wreck. You know what I mean?
I think what it's doing is it's taking it from a one-time cleanup job of $350, $400 in the spring, like twice a year. So you're gonna have a $350 cleanup in the spring, $350 in the fall. And what you're doing is you're basically watering it down to where it's like every month for only like $97, right? Like, and then in the winter when it's not growing, they can skip. Like, you know, when they get the text that says, hey, we're coming out for your monthly bush trimming. If it doesn't need it, just let us know, skip, and we'll just be back next month. We're not going to charge you extra if it's not really growing. So you're probably not going to be there much in December, January, cleaning up the bushes, but at least like the other 9 months out of the year, you're there once a month. I think it might be a little bit more money, but I think you, and this is me coming from a very humble place as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
I think somebody like you, Ryder, would not want to pay for the monthly service because for you have more time on your hands than you do money, right?
Yeah.
Whereas people like me and other people that value their time, I value my time way more than money, dude. Like, I just want my time back. I don't want to clean up my dog waste at the property. I don't want to mow my bushes, my lawn. I don't want to trim my bushes. Dude, we have a house cleaning people that come. I don't even want to vacuum when I get home, bro. Like I go to work. I work very hard. We make great money. I come home and I don't want to do that stuff. And so that's the type of client you're trying to attract, is the people that are very working class people. Maybe they're pilots, maybe they're business people, maybe they're lawyers, and they're just very career driven and they make a lot of money, and what they want is their time back. And so for them, you're giving them more value by being there every month, by maintaining the bushes. So that way they don't have to call you or even think about it. You just set them up on the schedule, and
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You're not marketing to you. You're marketing to the clients that value their time more. And so whether it's a little bit more money or not, to them, like for me, it doesn't, like, I don't really care. Like I would rather just have my house cleaned and my yard cleaned up.
Right.
I don't want to have to call every week or once a month or in the spring and fall and schedule anything. Like, I just give me on the schedule. As long as it's not like an arm and a leg, I don't really care, you know? And again, for me, I'm not trying to find the cheapest company. Like, I'm not trying to find the cheapest house cleaning company. I just want a house cleaning company that will show up every single month consistently and be reliable and do good work.
Yes.
You know? And that's what you're selling. That's the value that you're selling.
Gotcha. So would you have everything be recurring as much as possible? Because it sounds like that's what you're saying, basically.
Yeah, 1,000%. I would try to push all the customers to recurring as much as you humanly, physically possibly can. And the more that you can get that, and like you just told me earlier in this coaching call, like you're at a 50-50 ratio. So half of your revenue is recurring, the other half is one-time projects. The closer you get to more recurring, where it's like an 80% recurring and only 20% one time, that's where you can start to take yourself out of the equation, because you have consistent work, you have consistent things coming in. You don't have to rally a fall team and get all these door hangers out, you know what I mean, to where you're trying to like fill the schedule now that all the one time stop booking. Like you have that consistent recurring schedule with these recurring customers. And so I would definitely, if I were you, build a package around a bush trimming, bed service, reoccurring package, maybe monthly or every month and a half, something like that. You can even do like mulch packages, spring and fall mulch. I would definitely lean into that for sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty obsessed with trying to figure out like how my market works and how I want my ideal customer to be. I think about that a lot. The problem is I just don't have a lot of experience or data to work with. That's definitely not the conception that I had in my mind. But yeah, I would love as much to be recurring as possible. I looked at things though with my limited knowledge now. I've not been able to find a way that makes it smooth because of some of the crazy seasonal changes. Not sure how to like prorate that over the whole year, but I think it's doable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does that kind of make sense?
It does. Yeah. And dude, that's normal. Like, dude, you've got 40 customers. You're in your first year. You just did 100K this year. You don't have the volume yet. You don't have the reps yet, but your mindset is right. You're seeking coaching. You're seeking mentorship. You're trying to grow. You're trying to get better. And anybody that's trying to get better, it will be leagues ahead of anybody else out there that like is just trying to figure it out on their own. You know what I mean? And so I applaud you for obviously being in the community, asking questions, being inside, because dude, I'm telling you, if you are that diligent in trying to understand and learn your market and look at your data and track your data. So like also if you're like, are you tracking your time on every single job?
Yeah.
Good. So you have that data now. In the off season, you can go back and look at all of those one-time projects and see how long every single job took and get you a good, decent idea of like, okay, this is what it would take if it's kind of overgrown when they really need it. Well, it's definitely not going to be that long. So normally we see like a third of the time. So like if the normal job would take like 2 or 3 hours, it's normally like a 1 hour minimum. You know, like a lot of times you can, as like if you're there for recurring bush trimming and it's not overgrown, dude, our guys are getting in and out in under probably an hour. Like most jobs are like 1 hour minimum. And so you would just come up with a package of like, okay, for 1 hour job, they're going to have 1 or 2 bags of disposal, minimal clippings. Like it's pretty standard. And then, and then you just build kind of a package around that and start to push people towards that recurring bush and bed service. And then what I was going to say to that, to package that even further, which you're probably not there yet, but you could also do prepays on those too. But I think to wrap up this coaching call, I think if you tap into your resources of prepaying for the year, especially for mowing this year, for not only just your 40 recurring mowing clients, but also all of your leads in the database, dude, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to get at least 5, if not maybe 10 people to prepay the mowing season and get 4 free cuts. Like to me, that makes sense. You do good work and they've already used you this past season and they know they're not moving anytime soon. Like why not just prepay, forget about it, and then you're good. And then you get 4 free cuts. So
Yeah.
but
Okay, cool. That sounds good. Thanks for your time. I booked another call when I booked this one originally, so I'm not sure exactly when that is. I don't think it's next week. I think it's the week after. So I will see you again then.
sounds good. And then preferably, again, as a good coach, the homework will be finished. 50 business listings, dude. It's a grind. All right. It's a grind, but I'm telling you, it will help you grow your business. It will help the SEO. It'll help the leads, everything.